What is up, everybody? It is Wednesday, November 13th, and today I had a losing day. It's been a while since I had a losing day, but it is what it is. It did mess with me mentally, so I didn't honor my stop loss on my trades, so I am a little bit more red than I really should have been according to my risk management, but we'll go over that. So as you can see, there were a lot of things that I was just eyeing and drawing out consistently, and I didn't even realize that one hit, but cool. So the trades that I took today, coming into the market on the 4-hour time frame, right? We have been in between these two fair value gaps. Okay, we've been consolidating, bouncing off of this one, rejecting off of this one. So I was thinking today that we would come and reject through or close below this one. As you can see, I wanted a 4-hour close below to be bearish, and if that were the case, we were going to hit this low right here. There was a swing low here on the 15-minute, here and here. All right, those were my targets for today if we were going to have a down day. And then what was going to make me bullish was the fact that if we end up getting a 4-hour close above that level right there, which was that 4-hour fair value gap. Same thing on the 1-hour time frame. I had a couple of places where I wanted to see a strong close, like right here. I wanted a strong close above this fair value gap for bullishness, which we did not get. We inverted that too, so that made me more bearish here. As you can see, we had an inversion on that 1 hour. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the 1 hour. And then the 15-minute time frame. The other thing that I was looking at, I believe I had something on here too. Yes, so right here from this data push on up, I wanted a 15-minute candle close below that to be bearish. Okay, so that was overall right what I was eyeing, and it seemed like everything was pointing to go lower. Okay, and it did at one point. So one of the trades that I actually took was not on my funded accounts. It was actually on a separate my funded futures eval, which was, where did it go? Don't remember exactly which trade it was. I think it was this one here, where, you know, price consolidates, we open up, we have this drop, this push, this drop, and this push back on up, creating that failure swing high. We have a 1-minute fair value gap right here. As soon as price closes below that fair value gap right there, I market ordered in and put my stop above that high because it is now Q3, and it looked like it wanted to. There was no higher time frame validation to go short. Okay, apart from that 4-hour rejection off of the fair value gap right there with data highs coming up, and then we're just slowly dropping down. That was the only validation I had. Now, as you know, I used to trade like that before, right? So I'm trying to see on that eval if it was going to end up playing out, which fortunately it did, right? As you can see here, we got that stop above the high. Price moves down, lower, and I had my take profit pretty much at a 2-to-1. I got out right here where I ended up passing that eval, so now I have another funded account on my funded futures. So price starts to retrace back on up, and then I switch over to my Apex accounts, which is the one that I'm showing right here. So price starts to move back on up, retracing into a 5-minute fair value gap that I have marked out. Let me take out the quarterly cycles because there is a lot going on in this chart. Price moves on up, comes down, displaces below that, right? It wasn't a very strong displacement, but we had a candle closure below. I market order in on the next candle, and as you can see, price immediately starts to push on up. I hold through, it is green. I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then price starts to move back on up and fully stops me out. So that first trade, valid, totally cool on that trade. I was a little upset about it, right? So price starts to come back up. It's playing around in this 5-minute fair value gap. It also forms a 15-minute fair value gap, okay? And I wanted to see price below that consistently, and we were getting closures below that. We weren't getting any closures above that. You can see this 10, or actually, I think this one did invalidate it. Yeah, so I market ordered in once we got a close below that bearish fair value gap right here. So, or bullish fair value gap right there. Price came down, tapped into it, bounced off of it. Even though we did invalidate this one, creates a failure swing high, starts to have a very strong push back down. So I thought, okay, this is a good place for me to enter. So I got in. I waited for a small little retracement back up. I got in thinking, yep, it is already 10:30. We're gonna have a very strong push down because 10 o'clock opened and we had a move we had to move on up, creating that wick, and then we're going to come back down because that's what I was expecting. Then price comes back on up here, and what did I end up doing? I think I closed out my position there. Why? Because there was a bearish fair value gap right there that price invalidated, and then also price is just dancing around in this area, and I figured, yeah, you know what? It's going to stop me out. I was already emotional, so that was wrong that I did that. I should have walked away after I did that because my rules are 2 trades per day. But for some reason today, I was just not in my right mindset, and I took another trade. So price comes down, invalidating this bullish fair value gap right there. I get that closure right here. Right here on this one, so I get in on the next candle. A little bit of a low fill. Put my stop above that high, and as you can see, this one I took it off right there. Again, closed it right before it hits my stop, not honoring my stop. And so once I saw that I was doing that and I was just not honoring my stop losses, I decided I was going to call it quits for the day. That is the only trades that I am taking today on my Apex accounts. I did not want to take anything else. Then I tried a new Elite Trader Funding account. I wanted to see if I could find any kind of trade on there, and I took this specific trade here. I took this one first on one of them. I believe the entry was the fact that, honestly, I can't even realize why I did that. Oh, because of the fact that we had this 1 minute imbalance right there. Price comes up, closes above it, and then I put my entry right here, pretty much where that imbalance starts. I get filled, I put my stop below that low, price comes down, stops me out. Then the second trade that I take on them is when price comes down or starts coming back on up, bounces off of this 15-minute fair value gap. It has a small 1 minute imbalance right there. Very, 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 very small. Okay. Price comes on up. I market order in, put my stop below that swing low, especially because, we bounced off of that 15-minute fair value gap and hits a nice 1 to 2. All right. That was one of them that I took on that one. And then I took another trade. I didn't take this one. This was just one that I just saw, but I'm going to erase that. Then the next one that I took was the fact that we bounced off of this 5-minute fair value gap. Price comes on up, creates a 1 minute fair value gap here. Price respects that and then starts to come back on up, and I market order in, put my stop below the low, target a 1 to 2, and this one hit as well. So I am cooking up a new video for you guys, a new series. I bought 10 Elite Trader Funding accounts. I'm going to copy trade all of them, and I'm going to finally put it all together for you guys once it is all set, showing you from the beginning to the end of, God willing, passing it, and then what trades I keep taking to be able to pass that and be able to, show you guys how I get that to a payout. So God willing, I can get a $1,000 payout on each account, which if I continue to follow my risk management, it should be possible. And yeah, that'll be amazing to get $1,000 from 10 accounts. That'll be a $10,000 payout. So we will see how that goes, and I will put that all together for you guys. God willing, I get that by the end of the year, just to show you guys that it's definitely possible. The accounts were like $15 each, because right now Elite Trader Funding is having a sale. It's 90% off. Their rules are similar to that of Apex, just a little more strict, which is totally fine for me because it fits into my kind of strategy. And so yeah, and then I think the funding fee is $150 each. So that'll be quite the price tag when I pass them. God willing, I pass them. But it's worth it. I want to show you guys it's definitely possible. So hopefully you guys ended up green. Unlike me, I ended up red. Didn't follow my rules. Took 3 trades, 1 too many, and I didn't honor my stop loss. So I deserve the red today, guys. I deserve it. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, and I will catch you all later. Peace.